This started here in San Diego with a gal named the Reverend Millie Landis, and she's on her way here right now. And she asked me over lunch one day if I had a God story. And I said, well, exactly what do you mean by that? And she said, it's a moment where you receive proof that God exists. And I said, I have 3. She said, oh, tell me the stories. And I told them to her. And then she asked me if I would write them down for her congregation. And months passed. And all of a sudden I remembered, oh, I better write those stories down. And the moment I wrote the stories down, something clicked. And I thought, if I have these stories, who else has the stories? And has a mainstream book ever done? Not a church book, a mainstream book. Let's bring this all out. And it hadn't, not for 100 years. And so here we are. Here's what we've done. What I did is I set up a website, godstories.com, and I did a lot of media, and I asked people to go ahead and go to the website and submit their stories. And hundreds of stories poured in, and the result is God stories. So a lot of people have asked me, if I had my own stories. And of course, I did. The first happened to me when I was 12 years old. And it was my 12th birthday, and I got a 10-speed bike for my birthday. And my mother said, okay, you can ride on this road, and you can ride on this road, but don't ride on that road. And of course, I went right over to that road. And I was riding my bike, and all of a sudden, I got this incredibly beautiful feeling. It was like perpetual euphoria. That's all I can describe. And the next minute I knew, I was looking down from above at a car that had a cracked windshield with like a wig in it, and there was a crumpled body in front of it. And this whole time I'm looking, I'm watching people run to the body and the car stopping, and then I realized it was my body, and I was back down in it. And I had had an out-of-body experience. I had been hit by a car, and my soul had left my body. And I was 12 years old. And from that moment, I've never feared death. But, at 12, going around telling people that. And this was way before Shirley MacLaine was, telling us where we were going. So that was my first experience. And then, hello. And then I had a second experience. And then my third, which was quite profound, was that I was working for CNN and doing very well professionally. Personally, I was extremely unhappy. I was 32 years old, and I was going through my second divorce. And I felt like an absolute personal failure. I just didn't know how I had gotten to this point in my life. It was at this stage that I started experiencing a pain in my leg. And I ended up at Mass General Hospital in Boston and went through surgery, and doctors told me, we have kept your leg, but only temporarily. You have bone cancer. And at that moment, I actually felt a profound relief that I wouldn't have to go on anymore. I really did. I just felt like, fine, I've tried my best. There's no reason for me to be here anyway. And then what happened surprised me. In the next few days after that, people just started flocking to me, people I had known in my past, my friends, my family, and they embraced me with a warm blanket of love. That's the only way I can describe it. And they made me feel over a period of a few days that my life had purpose. Still, I knew I was on my way out, so I felt good, but I knew what the inevitable was. Then on the 5th day, I had still not left my hospital bed. My doctor came running into my room, and he said to me, I'm going to tell you something I never get to tell anybody. And I said, what's that? He said, it's benign. The DNA's just come back, and even though it showed malignancy, it is now showing that it's benign. And I said, what am I supposed to do? I was supposed to start chemo the next day. And he said, young lady, go out and live your life. And that is exactly what I've done. And I've been happy ever since. It did show me that my life had purpose, and I know it sounds a bit, out there, but then all of a sudden this comes along, and this idea, oh, it was I thought it was my idea, but I really don't think it was my idea. I think it was put in front of me. I was supposed to do this, and we're supposed to tell people stories. And, to be honest with you, this came out about 3.5 weeks ago. It's taken off. Red Book Magazine, it's the book club pick of the month. All You Magazine, which is a Walmart magazine, it's a book pick. Going to be on the Today Show in a few weeks. We've sold in the past couple of weeks. We've sold the country of Brazil. We just came out in Australia, Croatia, Czechoslovakia, Germany. Well, these things don't usually happen like this. So it's all good news. And the best part about all of this is that the emails that I'm getting from people, seriously, they make you want to cry. People are saying, I'm reading this book. I'm crying my way through this book. This book is giving me purpose. It's making me realize I really didn't have it that bad, or I don't have it that bad. These stories, we're going through tough times right now. There's always loss in life. People are always dying. There's always illness. But right now, with these economic times as well, there's a lot of desperation. And a lot of people just don't feel that they want to go on. If you read this book and you believe or you question, I guarantee you that you'll realize that everything's okay, because there's another place, and it's a great place. So it's fun. It's fun. And as I told someone who said to me, well, what do you tell the atheists out there who don't believe, and question? It's a really good read. You'll find it very entertaining. If you don't believe, this is a very entertaining book. And if you believe, you'll be moved by it. Thank you for coming. I promised about 8 minutes. There you go. Yeah.